Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here. SNAP payment error rates refer to the percentage of benefit payments that are issued incorrectly, whether it's overpayments, whether underpayments, or administrative errors. And a 10% error rate actually means that the program is getting it right 90% of the time, reflecting a relatively strong track record in administering benefits accurately. But this one big ugly bill made it so that states with 10% error rates face extremely high cost share penalties. That said, I still have critical questions that remain unanswered. For example, what happens if a state cannot afford its new required share of SNAP benefit costs under the recent law? This was a key concern that I raised in July, in a July 1st letter, but we have yet to receive clarity on the potential consequences or the solutions. Meanwhile, grocery prices continue to rise, putting increasing strain on families who are already living paycheck to paycheck, despite a White House commitment from day one to address these rising costs. Republicans have instead chosen to cut SNAP benefits, and I want to say significantly so. These cuts will reduce the amount families will have to spend on groceries, and that's going to make it harder to afford basic necessities. Reduced benefits mean less spending at SNAP retailers, which negatively affects farmers and food distributors and local economies, especially in rural areas and small towns. Mr. Chair, I ask for unanimous consent to submit my July letter into the record. Like North Carolina, Ohio, and many other states operate under biennial state budgets, meaning their budget cycles are 2 years long, not annual. And this creates major challenges. States are being asked to budget now for costs that they won't even know until October 2027. Combined with other new cost share responsibilities from Medicaid cuts in the one big ugly bill, it puts states in an impossible position. You know, I've served for 20 years in the North Carolina House, and I know firsthand that states cannot afford budget cuts under these conditions, and they simply can't afford these new burdens. So, Ms. Bivens, since you administer SNAP in a state with a biennial budget cycle, what concerns does this raise for you?
Thank you so much. As it states today, if we were to impose our error rates, we will be paying $300 million.
Wow.
We are working currently right now, of course. Our error rate has gone down, and we work closely with our state partners in trying to innovate. But the burden would be critical. It would debilitate our human services branch in order to assist our residents.
So Ms. Green, what feedback have you heard from these states regarding budgeting for these new cost shares and uncertain future costs?
Thank you for the question. Throughout the past several months when this was being discussed, and then since it's been passed, we have heard significant concerns from our members across the country about their ability to, for their states to be able to fill the shifts that have been shifted to them for costs on SNAP. Of course, that includes both the administrative shift as well as the potential for paying part of the benefit, which states have never had to do before. I do also want to say, because you've been talking about payment error rates, that fiscal year 26 starts in less than 30 days, and that could define up to the first 2 years of a state's cost share, and states are still working on and waiting for the rest of the guidance from USDA to be able to implement the changes, which could impact their error rates as well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I did ask to have my letter submitted. Okay, great. Thank you. And I'm going to yield my time to Ms. Hayes.